Source 4, Blues in the Bay by Kristen Uhlenbrock, National Wildlife Federation, August through September 2019. Backing up warily, bright red claws at the ready, the blue crab resembles a fighter. So picking her up requires a bit of technique or a pair of thick gloves. Once she's in your hands, look into her beady eyes. You might perceive a nervous glimmer, a hint that, while she is strong, threats to her home in the Chesapeake Bay, from pollution to warming ocean temperatures to rising sea levels, may make it harder for her to survive. In this ongoing fight for survival, this year she came out on top. Results of the Bay's annual winter dredge survey, released in March, found that the total blue crab population jumped from 594 million crabs, 60% above last year's count, and the highest level in 7 years. Juvenile crab numbers nearly doubled, and spawning age females rose by 29%. Good news for watermen and crab lovers alike. During the past year, mild winter temperatures helped boost survival rates among juveniles and adult crabs overwintering in the mud, and favorable currents pushed large numbers of larval crabs up the bay from their birthplace at the mouth of Chesapeake. But currents and temperatures are notoriously fickle, often putting crabs on the ropes. During the winter of 2017 to 2018, for instance, a cold snap knocked out a third of overwintering adult crabs. And though the bay's crabs are booming today, new research is showing that climate change and a host of other challenges will keep these fighters on their toes, with some factors giving a boost and others a lethal blow. Crabs is a top contender. The Chesapeake Bay is one of the nation's most well-studied bodies of water, and the blue crab is a keystone species and indicator of the bay health. An able predator, it scavenges almost anything, including fish, oysters, snails, and even other crabs. It also serves as prey. Striped bass, red drum, and herons all dine on mature crabs. Juveniles and larvae are most susceptible to a wide range of predators. The crab's ability to generate a thick shell, or carapace, helps it survive. So it's a mad rush to reach maturity as the animals grow and molt out of smaller shells, but they face many hurdles along the way. The Chesapeake crabs lead a nomadic lifestyle. Between May and October, female crab releases her eggs, as many as 3 million, at the mouth of the bay, where the larvae float in ocean currents, molting as they grow. After about a month, they migrate inshore, where they mature and then mate in the seclusion of bay grasses. Crabs reach maturity in 12 to 18 months, depending on food and temperature. Once water temperature drops into the mid-50s, the crabs head to deeper waters to spend the winter buried in the mud, where their metabolic rate slows and they try to ride out the cold. Facing a 1-2-3 punch, even if crabs survive nature, they still have to contend with humans. More than 18 million people live in the 6 states and the District of Columbia that drain into the Chesapeake Bay watershed. During the past century, agricultural nutrients and polluted urban runoff have tainted water quality and degraded thousands of acres of bay grasses, which provide critical hiding and foraging grounds for blue crabs. Likewise, invasive species pose a serious threat. Introduced in the 1970s from elsewhere in the States, the blue catfish is now invasive in the bay, where it devours blue crabs. Something Billy Rice, a third-generation waterman, has witnessed firsthand. An extreme concern for me is the predation on crabs from the blue catfish, says the Maryland native. We just don't seem to be able to get a handle on that fish. Conservation efforts in recent years have significantly cut the amount of nutrients and other pollutants entering the Chesapeake Bay, a boon to bay grasses and blue crabs alike. In 2018, a study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences reported that the reduction in nutrient loads in the bay have increased submerged aquatic grasses by 17,000 hectares, the highest grass cover in almost half a century. Though this news is encouraging, climate change threatens such progress as warmer waters, sea level rise, and extreme storms slam the bay. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, Bay Area air temperatures rose nearly 2 degrees Fahrenheit, and stream waters warmed by 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit between 1960 and 2014, while the water level has risen about a foot during the past century. Warmer waters hold less dissolved oxygen, creating dead zones that stress or kill aquatic life. And as carbon dioxide increases in the air, it is also absorbed by the bay, where it chemically reacts with the water and lowers the pH level, thereby raising acidity. Lower oxygen and higher acidity have been shown to reduce crab larvae survival by 87%, according to research at Stony Brook University. Yet new research is suggesting that blue crabs may actually emerge as climate change winners, showing resilience to warmer water and more acidic conditions, evidence that these fighters may be as adaptable as they are pugnacious. A split decision. In the future, if crabs grow bigger, faster, they could step into the climate fight with a better chance than the other species of surviving. But survival rides a complex tide of factors. Currently, crabs spend 3 to 5 months overwintering, a time when they're vulnerable to cold snaps and strong shifts in salinity, and survive about 70 to 80% of the time. By 2100, crabs are forecasted to spend as little as 1 month hunkering down in the mud, and survival will be closer to 100%. That may be bad news for crab prey, which get a break while crabs overwinter. Tom Miller, director of the Chesapeake Biological Laboratory, ponders these predator-prey interactions in the context of crabs growing bigger, faster, while oysters struggle to grow thick shells in acidic waters, making them more vulnerable to predation. I think you can expect to see shifts in the diet of direct result of acidification and changes in the balance of the predatory prey arms race, says Miller. As Chesapeake Bay waters become warm and more acidic, crabs may very well adapt. But while the blue crab may come out a winner, the overall health of the bay may not. So the stakes in this fight are high.